Welcome back to the Larson Show. It's a pleasure to be with you on a Tuesday night. We'll get back to your phone calls and emails later at 866-HEY-LARS. That's 866-439-5277. Emails go to talk@LarsLarson.com. Very few days do I walk into the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning and find myself without at least a story about some politician somewhere talking about giving away stuff for free. Free college, free medical care, and even just free plain old green American cash that they want to give away. And so it makes you wonder, what would the country look like if the government simply gave free money, that is money taken from somebody else at the point of a gun, every month just for being here? Well, I thought I'd talk about that with Joseph Semprevivo, who is a member of the Job Creators Network, which I like, and the president and CEO of Joseph's Light Cookies, a guy who knows about capitalism because his family practices it. It's a small business based in Sebastian, Florida. Joseph, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Lars. Appreciate it.
So what is this? What if we start to sign up for these ideas? We have at least one, not a front runner in the Democrat Party side running for president, but one of the candidates is saying, let's give everybody $1,000 a month just for waking up and breathing at the age of 18. And then, of course, all the other promises of free this and free that, always at somebody else's expense. Is that a good way for America to go?
I'm telling you, I think you're referring to the Democratic candidate Yang, who wants to give $1,000 each. But you also have Cory Booker, Kamala Harris. The list is on and on. You got Sanders and Warren, Elizabeth Warren, and one way or the other wants to do this. And it's a great way to move to bankruptcy. If you ran a business like this by giving everybody greenbacks without collecting any money in return, you wouldn't have a business, and your employees wouldn't have a job, and your suppliers wouldn't have you purchasing materials from them. So it would definitely be a downward spiral for our country and our economy, giving very little hope to millennials for any job. Forget about paying back their $1.4 trillion in college debt, but it would be no hope for them whatsoever.
Joseph, I don't know, but I imagine your parents probably taught you the same thing my parents did, that if a deal sounded too good to be true, it likely was too good to be true. And I would think that some of the young people with common sense would say, you're going to give me $1,000 a month, for instance, or you're going to forgive my $100,000 in student tuition debt that I willingly took on, and you're going to do that for me for nothing? What's the catch? Why is it that so many people aren't asking what's the catch, and instead they're saying, oh, sounds like a good socialist program that we can make as a sustainable program by simply taking enough money from the rich?
You hit the nail on the head, and this is the thing. It's about asking the right questions. And where's the money going to come from? How sustainable is this? How did the program go in Finland? How did the program go in Canada? Why is Stockton doing it? Where is Stockton and California getting their money from? Will universal basic income be a successful plan in the United States? And if we're looking at $1,000 according to Yang's proposal, and Finland was giving the equivalent to $640, suspended the program, actually terminated the program, and found in the first year there was a couple participants. One, her name was Tanja, and the other one, Tomas. They both said, we're in worse shape now, and these are proponents of this program, Universal Basic Income. At the end of year one, they said, we're worse off than we were in the beginning. And when asked why, it's because we have this money coming in. There's no need to go out there and really search for a better job. I just got another minimum wage paying job or slightly higher than minimum wage. There was no rush for me to advance my career, learn another skill set. Even though they've been out of work for 2 and 3 years, they did nothing to improve upon their skill set, soft and hard skills, to drive up their wages. And now they're suffering for it after receiving this universal basic income for 3 years in Finland. That was only $640. What happens when it's 1,000? And Finland found that it bred laziness. People did not go out like they anticipated and get better jobs and get more skills. Because we got to remember, this program, there's no strings attached. So you can stay home and you could smoke pot every day if you wanted to. You could get an education if you'd like, or you can get a better job. But there's absolutely no strings attached whatsoever. And they found that it failed, not just in Finland, but in Canada. And in Stockton, they're getting a grant from an ESP group that gave them $1 million to fund this program.
Well, Joseph, I know that your family's history has been a tremendously successful one. I feel I've been tremendously successful. I mean, your family founded Joseph's Light Cookies, and you've done very, very well. But you've told the story about your family's rags to riches story. But you kind of wonder whether a family like that would have been able to do it if everybody knew. But Dad, I wake up every morning. I'm 19. I get $1,000 a month, and you want me to go down and work in the cookie factory all day long? You want me to go out and beat my soles into the pavement trying to find new customers to buy these cookies? Why do I want to do that? I'm doing just fine on the $1,000. I even think that there are probably some wealthy families in America who do their kids a disservice by saying, don't worry about it, find your own path, but here's an allowance or a stipend you could live on in the meantime. I almost think we'd be better off to say, you go out and you make some money, and when you start making some money, maybe mom and dad will help you out, but in the short run, we want to see what you can do on your own. I think it's actually debilitating to kids, and it's debilitating to adults.
You're absolutely spot on. I mean, if we're a driven person, we want to achieve more, whether that's through education, whether that's through a skill, a trade. We want to do more. We want to advance our life. And what you often do is you derail those very people that we're intending to help. You derail them from their pathway, from their future and future prosperity by saying, we're going to dangle this carrot. Just keep your eye on the carrot. Don't go off on a path and get an education or learn a trade or start a business. And this would be very damaging to society. And to these kids that believe in this program and their future children, it's going to really damper any type of opportunities they have. You have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And when you have no money, my parents were, dirt poor. And when you have no money, you have to find every single penny and put it to work the right way and appreciate that. And then one day you can give back and you can help other people. We should be doing hand-ups and not hand-outs. And these handout programs are not good.
And by the way, as a type 2 diabetic, Joseph, I got to thank you for the guy who makes 12 million sugar-free cookies a day. Thanks very much for that. And obviously, there are a lot of grateful Americans out there. And thanks for the work you do with the Job Creators Network as well. That's Joseph Semprevivo. You got to read his life story. It's pretty amazing.